I'm going to make a video for you while on the way to the gym today. Where should I look? I think it's here, right? Camera is here. This is fun. So today I'm gonna show you how to make Korean verbs into adjectives. Korean adjectives are a little different from English adjectives because in Korean we have two different types of verbs. First one is regular verbs, which is to go, to eat, to study, and the other one is to be adjective verbs, which is like to be pretty, to be delightful, to be warm. So those type of verbs are descriptive verbs as well. And that's number one reason why it's different from English adjectives. And number two, Korean adjectives are determined based on tenses. It could be based on the past tense, present tense, future tense. So I'm gonna show you all different kind of combinations today, and hopefully this video will clear out your confusion. And let's talk about the be adjective verbs, which is descriptive verbs. I'm gonna show you two main categories. First one, when the verb ends with a vowel, and the other one is when the verb ends with a consonant. When the verb ends with a vowel, you're gonna add N as the last consonant. That is for present tense. So for example, to be pretty, 예쁘다. You're gonna add N consonant, 예쁜. But this goes the same thing for past tense as well. 예쁜, that becomes also past tense. How about future tense? You add R consonant, 예쁠. That is an adjective for future tense. How about if the verb ends with a consonant? To be bright, 밝다. So for present tense, 밝은, you add 은. And also for past tense, 밝은. Future tense, 밝을. But for past tense, whether the verb ends with a vowel or a consonant, you have another option. You could add 던. So you may ask, what's the difference between the other past tense format and 던? 던 usually I associate to past participle. Had done something, had been to, had gone to, or you can interpret it as used to. You used to go, you used to eat. If you say 예쁘던, used to be pretty. But for descriptive verbs, I would tell you, since the present tense and past tense are pretty much the same, and future tense is not that common. So I tell you that for descriptive verbs, don't worry too much about tenses too much. How about the other verb, which is regular verbs? These verbs are to go, to eat, some kind of action verbs. So I will show you the two different categories, just like this, just like descriptive verbs. If the verb ends with a vowel, for the present tense, you add 는. Past tense, you add N. Future tense, you add R. How about if the verb ends with a consonant, present tense, you add 는, 은. For past tense, and 을 for future tense. Even for the past tense, you could add 던, just like descriptive verbs. The same thing. Regular verbs are more dictated based on the tenses. I tell you why. An adjective that is converted from a descriptive verb in Korean is in fact a simple adjective in English to describe a noun. For example, to be pretty, 예쁘다 in Korean. You convert that into an adjective, 예쁜. 예쁜 여자, pretty woman. How about to be tall, 크다. 큰 남자, tall man. But now we're talking about a regular verb that turns it into an adjective. In this case, regular verb is an action verb. When you take an action, you tend to associate to tense when the action is taken. For example, 가다, to go. So if you add 가는, that becomes a present tense. 가는. 간, past tense. 갈, future tense. So if we say 가는 남자, the man who goes, present tense. 간 남자, the man who went. 갈 남자, the man who will go. You guessed it. How about 먹다 verb, to eat? 먹 ends with a consonant, so you're gonna add 먹는 for present. For past, 먹은. Future, 먹을. How about the food that you eat? 먹는 음식. 먹은 음식. Food that you ate. 먹을 음식. Food that you will eat. Even though I used you as subject, it could be anyone. My point is that for action verbs, they're gonna be more determined based on tenses. In the simple examples that I just shared with you, when I interpret them in English, I use noun who and then clause. Noun, you can also use noun that, noun which. Depends on the type of the noun that's been used. In English, when the adjective becomes so massive that ends up being a clause, that is used after the noun. But in Korean structure, this is a key point. In Korean structure, we don't have this sentence structure. So we have to use those clauses as if it's an adjective before the noun. Let's make more examples. People who will go to stores need to wear masks. 상점에 갈 사람은 마스크를 써야 해요. 상점에, store with location particle. 갈, this is from a verb 가다, to go. Made it into a future tense adjective describing 사람, which is person. So here you can interpret it as person who will go to the stores. But as you can see in English, I used the clause after who. But in Korean, the entire clause that is used after who has to come before noun. 마스크를, this is the same thing as mask. 를, object particle. 써 is from a verb 쓰다. It's conjugated to 써. 야 해요, this is have to. 상점에 갈 사람은 마스크를 써야 해요. People who will go to stores need to wear masks. They threw away the food they left. 그들은 남긴 음식을 버렸어요. 그들은 they as plural, 은 subject particle, 남긴 is from a verb 남기다, to leave. Leave something. Describing 음식, food. So food that they left. 버렸어요. This is from a verb 버리다, to throw away in the past tense. 그들은 남긴 음식을 버렸어요. They threw away the food they left. How about you may wonder, what if it's not them who left the food? Then we need to specify the subject for the verb adjective. I may say, they threw away the food their family left. I'm just making it up, of course. 그들은 가족이 남긴 음식을 버렸어요. 그들은 내 가족이 남긴 That is the adjective clause. 가족이 남긴 음식 Food that family left. 버렸어요. threw away. The last example. My friend rides an expensive bike. 제 친구는 비싼 자전거를 타요. 제 친구, my friend는 subject particle. 비싼. This is a simple adjective from 비싸다 verb to be expensive. 비싼 자전거, expensive bike. 타요, to ride. It's from a verb 타다. What if I'm gonna make it into a little bit more complicated? Who bought that expensive bike? My friend rides an expensive bike that his dad bought. 제 친구는 아빠가 사주신 비싼 자전거를 타요. So I added 아빠가 subject, 사주다. This is from a verb 사다 to buy with another verb 주다 as a favor. 비싼 자전거, that is we already got that expensive bike. So 아빠가 사주신 that ends up being an adjective clause that came from a regular verb. They turned it into an adjective. Expensive bike that his dad bought. 아빠가 사주신 비싼 자전거를 타요. The rest is the same. Hopefully these examples were helpful for you. Please feel free to write your own examples and answer to these questions. Here is your homework. First one. I like going to the places I went. My dog barks at people who walk on the street. If you guys need me to make another video for more examples, just please let me know because I know this requires a lot of practice. And also on the weekends, I have live streaming at 12 p.m. Eastern Time for Saturday and Sunday. I do go through a lot of Korean scripts and break down sentence structures. If you want to study further with me, you can join the live streaming as well. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video, then I see you guys next time. Bye bye!